Now AIOZ, I had some of this, and just I'm going down what I'm in and what I'm watching for those reasons. So big sell block here on AIOZ. I don't really like this here, and to be honest, with this kind of sell signal and the bearish divergence, let me check the weekly. But yeah, the week now this is when it is hard when it's giving mixed signals though. And I think again probably pulls back to the midpoint of this buy level and then goes higher. So the question is, if I sell it all, then it's off my radar and I'll miss it. If I sell half, then it's still on my radar and I'll hopefully get back in. So these are ones to kind of come back and revisit, which I'll do later today. SUI, so these are all going to look pretty much the same. SUI's looking a little bit better. It's back above its 200-week SMA, has a nice little buy block, has some TSI sell pressure, but this, look at these three buy blocks, looks very bullish. And on that weekly time frame, it's back above its 20 and 50-week EMAs. It's in a bit of sell block, but I think SUI looks pretty strong. So what might I do? I might sell some of my AIOZ and buy more SUI. So let's just do that, because I might forget too. Follow me along. I don't want to be do as I say, don't do as I do, or whatever that goes. Here's my pen. So sell AIOZ, buy SUI. I'm going to do that a little bit after this call. Am I going to sell all of it? I'm not going to sell all of it. I'll sell half. Because how many times have you sold something and bought something else and only to have the thing you bought go down and the thing you sold go up? Yeah, the markets are really good at that, and especially when everyone's doing market sales. Thank you, Charles. I'll look into that. Well, that's good for helium, and so the Wi-Fi hotspots. So that would be great, especially for the helium token, if we can start mining helium, the helium miners again. I'm scratching my head though. Why would helium partner with AT&T? And not because the mobile token had a T-Mobile partnership, I believe. So are they competing with each other? I don't know. But the Wi-Fi hotspots on the Helium token that we were mining, that I was mining, and I'll pull up the Helium Explorer. I'll show you. There's millions of them, or I think just under 1 million of them. But the miners, there's no incentive to mine because you can't earn helium tokens anymore. Maybe that's changed. I'll have to research that, and I'll pull up the crypto panic. We'll go back to that. I'll get to some news. Let's get through the charts here. But thanks for that info. Filecoin, still like Filecoin on the weekly time frame. We don't. The daily is kind of just noise. If we can see here, this is likely going to go higher. I still think this has 40 to 45x this cycle. And even if it's only here or here, that's a 4x. You can see I have my take profit zones in there. We've talked about this. Watch TSI weekly. If we get a pullback on this back under $2.50, I'd still be buying this. We have multiple ERIs on the weekly. We have the TSI about to go green. You can catch a nice little swing trade on these, take some profits. But I wouldn't sell it because one of these times is going to break out. And the longer it goes sideways, call that gas in the tank, everybody. Gas in the tank. Let me just go to a monthly time frame. Maybe that's a bit wide. I just want to see if I am missing anything. The monthly is really where the magic happens. So kind of want to see the monthly turn green on helium. And while I'm in here, I haven't been doing a lot of this, but that monthly is even larger momentum and larger time frame. So what do I want to do? I want to say, I want to know when it goes green. All right, so that's Filecoin monthly. That's the first sign that we're going higher. But also, I want to know what? Anybody? Add alert. Instead of oversold, overbought, crossing up 20. That's our magic. And then we want to say caps, buy, and it says Filecoin, yeah, because those are those bigger moves, and I want to be alerted to it because I don't want to miss it and say, oh, gee, how did I miss that? Just so much to watch over. How many of you guys are holding Filecoin? Charles, I think you are, and I wouldn't hold a huge amount, but I've got a decent amount here. Stanford Wong, yes. Charles, yes. Hey, hey, look. 45x, if the narrative is right and the bull run's cranking and Bitcoin hits a high, and then it's like Filecoin competes with AWS. The narrative comes out, and these things can happen quickly, as we saw, and we've seen this before. So I don't know. I could be wrong on this, but I just going by probabilities. This was an 80x, you guys, 80, almost 100x in 2020, March 2020 to March 2021. What were the signals? ERI weekly, boom. Monthly went, boom. Those are the ones we're going to be watching really carefully for. And I don't want to be chasing every other last shitcoin that comes out and goes up 20% in a day in Coinbase. That's what amateurs do. Don't be doing that. And again, if Filecoin can really hit it, maybe it's next cycle. I'll definitely hold a moon bag on this, because on the Fibonacci projections to the 3.618, that could be a 300x. Now, I don't think that happens. The market cap on this will really have to just explode. They'd have to do a deal with Amazon or something, which I don't think they'll do. But you don't know. And not to harp on it, but again, these companies that have a monetization model, they have investors, they're venture backed, they actually can get customers who pay money, pays bills. Those are good things. Customers, last I checked, good for business. The freemium model, unless you're Google or Facebook and you get mass adoption and can monetize it with advertising, that's pretty much the only. Otherwise, it's really hard to monetize these things. So burn that into your head. That's one of those beautiful charts in crypto today. And guys, don't be sharing this with anybody outside of M3. Don't do that to the rest of us. Not that any of you are, but I expect that you're not. And anyway, so moving right along. And if you make $1 million on that, I like Ferraris in red. Actually, Porsches in white, to be fair. Ferrari's a little too gaudy for me. But yeah, I won't be mad if you send me a nice 911 turbo in white, target top. Yeah, I'll take one. Anyway, I digress. Ondo, let's go back here to daily charts. And I had a blue turbo a long time ago, and I had a white cabriolet, but never got to use it because I was always working. Only fun I had was 15 minutes from my house to my office in Boca, and 15 minutes home. A small mortgage, those things. So I don't have one now. I've got just a simple one, the McCann. But anyway, Ondo Finance. So a little bit less. So as we saw, right? So we're still in this macro uptrending channel, but as we saw on the total market cap 3 rolling over, right? So we're seeing, this is disappointing, guys. Ondo, I was like, guys, we're Ondo, it's time, but we're losing that 2150 daily EMA. Why? DeFi looking kind of weak. Scott, yeah, I mean, when you're selling positions, I'd do half, a third to a half. Unless it really looks bleak, and then I'll just, but because the danger is you sell it all, you forget about it, and then it goes up, and you don't buy, and then you're busy, like I know you are, Scott, and then it goes past. So if you do half, you're protecting your downside, but you're still in the game in case it goes up. So Ondo here, while I don't like that it's coming down, when in doubt, zoom out. I-95, yes, Charles. I-95 had a Fast and the Furious experience on I-95 when I had the turbo and my buddy had his orange Lamborghini, and probably not the best idea, but it was fun. And then going across Alligator Alley, Porsche turbo, you can go from 70 to 90 and not even know it. My passenger chose to get in an argument with me over something. I didn't even know I was going 90, and the popo going the other way drove down through the grass, came around, and I saw him. I was like, all right, I pulled over. That was a fun ticket. Anyway, can't drive 55 exactly, Charles, but especially in Florida, they're the worst drivers in the world. Not once, but twice I nearly got wrecked on the highway because there was a mattress on the I-95 in front of me. How they, in Florida, they just pile everything on the top of the car or the truck like the Beverly Hillbillies with some bungee cords and then go bearing along. If you lose a mattress, nah. But if you don't want to be behind that, if you hit a mattress going 60, 70 miles an hour, you're not having a good day. Nearly hit one twice. So, Florida, sunny place for shady characters. That's what my realtor told me when I bought my house there. But I digress. All right, so Ondo Finance. We are seeing higher lows. We're in a buy zone. What do we do? Tough one. I'm going to set an alert here below the rising trend line to sell half because that DeFi chart just doesn't look so good. And, I would probably look to buy back in around 70 cents. Maybe lower that down so we can hit it 74 cents. But, we're splitting hairs here, really. And a lot of this is just kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul, moving money from here to there. It's tricky. But I do want to know, if we lose 84 cents, I'm going to make sure I'm not going to just, let's say 82 cents. Let me zoom out. I know it's really hard to but what I'm looking at is the bottom of the wicks, higher lows. We went down below it, but higher low, higher low. If we lose that higher low, let's say 85 cents. Well, if we lose 85 cents, I'll be like, maybe I should sell half the Ondo and put it in something else that looks better. So my note to self, SL, sell half. Just little notes to yourself. Because it's easier to do that now when the markets are really kind of going berserk. They're in berserker mode. You don't want to be trying to say, well, why did I set that alert? Give yourself the little message. So, oh, okay, sell here and just pull it up. But if you're busy like Charles Scott, I know how busy you are. You may just want to write it out, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't tell you. The smart thing to do is take partial losses. Now, Origin Protocol I still like, but I don't like this chart. It's notorious for doing these little fake outs. And we got a little buy block trying to hold here. I'm not going to let us split the hairs in this, but it's because of this sell, mostly red on the radar, maybe I should sell half of this. And, I sometimes ask myself, in hindsight, in a month or two from now, what will I be kicking myself for not doing? So ask yourself, what will I be kicking myself for not doing? And again, we're on the ice. We're falling through the ice. We're standing on thin ice here. So what can you do here? Same thing. There's support right there. You guys can do this, you guys. I know I won't name names, but I know one of you have told me you're still chart challenged. Practice makes perfect. So come in here, set an alert below that. If we start losing, say, 50.057, then we're going below the water. You need to do these things. Successful business owners and traders are resourceful, and they do the small things. And what did Kennedy say? We're going to the moon, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. What a great line. Hey, this is Brett from Moonstream. If you'd like to learn more about our pro trading signals or our live classes every Wednesday or our Retire Rich program, go over to moonstream.io/start.